All right, today's the big day. I got something good for you, Fiverr Talks. I'm going to be giving away my entire gig video template for free right here. That's right, we're going to tell you exactly how to make the best possible gig video, so make sure you watch this entire video and you won't miss a thing. I know, it sounds too good to be true, but one of my most popular videos on the channel thus far has been the video about how to shoot a great gig video. And if you're new to Fiverr, know this, that the way you advertise your service to the world on Fiverr, the e-commerce selling platform, is to shoot what's called a gig video. And it appears at the very top of your gig page, advertising your service. If you're on the mobile app, it's the one thing that pulls up first. People hit play, and it's you introducing your service to the world. Because that's one of our most popular videos here on the channel, I thought I would talk specifically about the template and formula that I use to shoot my gig videos and give it away today. Now, I'll say that I'm going to talk about all these things right here, but I'm going to go into greater detail in a written downloadable PDF, and I'm going to be giving that away only on Patreon for all our Fiverr Talks insiders. So if you're a Fiverr Talks insider, make sure you go to patreon.com/djyoung. You can download the PDF later this week of the gig video template with some more details. And if you haven't joined already, what are you waiting on? Head on over there, join us on Patreon, become an insider, get access to that resource, many more, and exclusive videos every single Friday. So let's get down to business and talk about my successful gig video template. Now, this is based off of the premise that a successful gig video should be right around 60 seconds long. Now, Fiverr has changed their rules over the years about how long your gig video can be. It used to be under a couple of minutes. I used to have one that was 2.5 minutes. Then they went down and said it can be no longer than 60 seconds. Now they say it has to be around 60 seconds. It's not hard and fast anymore. Because of that, I think 60 seconds is a great length to target and stick with for the foreseeable future. In fact, it's the length of all my gig videos, because if you can't say something in 60 seconds, you're not going to capture someone's attention and probably will fail to convert them to a buyer. So we're going to target 60 seconds as the optimal length for your gig video. We're going to say that up front. Now, the way we're going to quantify that and make sure that we get to 60 seconds almost exactly with our gig video is we are going to write out your script word for word. That's going to be my very first tip on this template video, is that you write out your script word for word, refine it, let other people read it out loud in the mirror to yourself to see how it sounds, but make sure you write it out word for word. And in order to hit 60 seconds, you need that word count to be around 150 words. And if you don't have a great source for counting your words, go to wordcounter.net, plug it in, and shoot for 150 words, because at a typical normal pace, not too fast, not too slow, that will end you up right around 60 seconds. I don't think end you up is the way to say that, but that's the way I said it. And just like Dr. Seuss, I can make up words when I want. That'll get you to 60 seconds. So 60 seconds equals about 150 words. And if you're going to write these things out, I would suggest that you bracket them out, and I'm going to break each section down into number of seconds and number of words. And in fact, I'm going to suggest you have 6 sections, count them, 6 sections to your successful gig video. Boy, don't say that 10 times fast. 6 sections to your successful gig video. And each one of those sections, you guessed it, is 10 seconds long, leading us to 25 words per section. Now, those are roundabout numbers. You can be a little higher on one section, a little lower on another, but all 6 of these sections need to be in your video. The first part of your gig video template writing experience should be your introduction. Take 10 seconds, 25 words to introduce yourself and your service. This should be very quick and to the point. This is probably 2 sentences. Each one of these sections, 25 words, maybe about 2 sentences, depending on the length of those sentences. But first, introduce yourself and introduce your service. That's the very first thing people want to know. And don't introduce yourself under your username. We talked about this last week in our gig video about what's up with usernames, but introduce yourself with your real name. No need to use last names, just use your first name. I'm Joel on Fiverr. I sign my messages as Joel. My username's DJ Young, but use your real name. Introduce yourself, build a human connection, and say who you are and what you do. It's really pretty simple. The second thing you want to talk about is your credentials. Take 10 seconds to talk about your experience doing what you're selling. How many projects have you completed? Talk about that. What's your rating been like during that time? What have people said that you've worked with? Who have you worked with? Anybody notable? Things like that. 10 seconds to talk about your credentials. Pretty quick, but they need to be in there. Third, you need to take 10 seconds and talk about the differentiators, the things that differentiate you between your competitors or other people that are selling the exact same thing as you on Fiverr. Nobody is in a category by themselves, so take 10 seconds to talk about why someone watching this video should hire you instead of anyone else. What makes you different? What makes you unique? You need to really pick one or maybe two things that are key differentiators for you, because in 10 seconds or 25 words, you really won't have that much of an opportunity to talk about much more. So pick one or two, or maybe sneak in three if you have the chance, but talk about your differentiators and make them strong, make them specific. Then fourth, talk about your sample work, or if you are a visual artist or have some kind of visual product in some way, show samples of your work. While you're talking in the video, make sure that you're throwing up clips. For me, it's animation videos. I'm throwing up clips of animated videos while I'm talking about them. If you design logos, throw them up. If you design website headers or flash sale headers or whatever it is, throw that up if you're a visual artist of any kind. If you're a copywriter, you can't really throw up copy and let somebody read it in 10 seconds. If you don't have a visual product, then this is the time to talk about who you've worked with. Hey, I've written for Time Magazine, the New York Times. If you have, then you're selling on Fiverr. You should do quite well. But talk about who you've worked with. Even on my voiceover gig video, I actually show samples. Let audio samples play. I say, here's a couple examples. And for 10 or 15 seconds, those audio samples roll. You need to give people a taste of your work inside your gig video. Don't count on them going down and looking in your portfolio. You've got their attention now. Show them something now. It has to be quick and it has to last only 10. Maybe you can stretch this one to 15 seconds if you steal from another section, but about 10 seconds, make it about your sample work. Then you have to call them to the details. This is a really important one. Tell them where they can find all the details about your rates, your turnaround times. Tell them to read your gig description below. That is a huge, huge thing on Fiverr that many buyers miss. But if they watch your video and you say, hey, this is really important, read the gig description. It has all the details about my rates, my turnaround time, what I deliver, how I deliver, all that stuff. It's down there. Go read it. But if you don't say that, people will miss it. I would also encourage you never to talk about specific rates or turnaround times in your gig video unless you are extremely confident they will not change for a long time. Because the mistake many sellers make is that they'll talk about their rate being X amount of dollars or their turnaround time being, this long, and then it changes, or they need to change it temporarily. And all of a sudden there's a conflict between gig video and reality in the gig description. You don't want your gig video to have any discrepancies or any thing that is not congruent with your gig description. You have to be parallel in all places at all times. So I would just suggest never state those things in your video. Tell them where they can find that information, but you don't have to talk about the specifics in there. Call them to the details, specifically where they can find them and what they should be looking for. And then finally, this is the best part and most important part of any marketing video, call them to action. Take 10 seconds, 25 words to tell them what to do next. And if you're on Fiverr, that next step should be click the Order Now button over there and we'll get started. Or maybe your gig lends itself to a custom offer. Instead of just them clicking the order button, say, hey, contact me. If you like this, contact me. Hit the message button. Message me. I'll respond. We'll get your order going right away. A lot of sellers do things that way. So figure out what your call to action is. Make it strong at the end and make sure you tell them, here's how you get started. Click order, message me. I'll send you a custom offer, whatever it is. Take the final few seconds to call them to an action, because if you simply say, hi, I'm this guy or this girl or this is what I do, thanks, then you leave them with really nothing to do. no homework, and you want to leave your viewer with homework, call them to action and tell them what you want them to do so they'll be more likely to do it. Hey, thank you so much for joining me for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed that, and if you did, give me a thumbs up or subscribe down below. And like I said earlier, if you want the detailed PDF with all of these things laid out in a nice, beautiful format, then join me over on Patreon at patreon.com/djyoung. Once you join, you'll have access to that downloadable PDF as well as other backlog of great videos that I've left over there exclusively for Fiverr Talks Insiders, and a new video added every single Friday, and you can interact with me and use me as your virtual Fiverr success mentor. I really love working with Fiverr sellers over there. It's a blast. So make sure you join me. Thanks for watching this video, and as always, keep doing, because the future favors the doers.